Hi everybody, this is Ernie on Podbean, Ernie1. Well, now that Bernie's gone, does that really help rid us of the socialist problem in this country? I doubt it. There's still a lot of socialistly minded people. We've still got George Soros rooting around in every hole and every rock he can crawl under. We've still got Barack Hussein. I don't know what he is. I have my own term, but I can't use it on the tape. Anyway, there's still a lot of socialism around there, folks. And if you'll take a look around our country this last month, you'll see that socialism is not dead in this country just because old man Bernie's gone. And by the way, I wonder what he'll do with all that money that people gave him to run for president. Oh, I'm sure he'll turn it back in. I'm sure he'll probably even get rid of one of his houses. Anyway, we still do have a socialist problem. If you look at what's happening right now in our country, we're told when we can go somewhere and how we can go, or where we can go, where we can't go. Everything but what we can eat. There are even people in this world, and matter of fact in this country, who want to have the right to come into your house and take whatever they want. Specifically, if you've got a family of 5 and a couple of kids are sick, they want to be able to come into your house and take your kids to the hospital, whatever. And let's say that your children are very sick. They're going to come in your house. They're going to take them. This is what they want to do. They're going to take your kids and put them in the hospital again. And if they die, well, while they're in the hospital, number one, you can't come and see them. And if they would happen to pass away, you can't come and see them then either. You can't come in and identify them. You can't see them. They're going to cremate them and bury them somewhere, or spread the ashes in Kansas, or whatever. That's socialism, and we're close to that kind of thing, and we need to get rid of it in this country. This country has come a long way in 230 some odd years, and I don't think we should easily give this republic up. This is the greatest country that God ever put on this earth. We've got the most beautiful flag that's ever been flown anywhere. And I think as Americans we slip a little bit, and we become contented with what we have and think that nobody can take it because they can't arrive on our shores with guns and boats and things like that and take this country, because they know that if you spread the weapons out in this country of America, just about everybody in America would have about 5 guns at least. So they're going to try to do it another way. I really do believe that there is a pandemic. I do believe that there is a virus problem, but there have been before as serious, maybe even a little more serious. I don't know. I'm certainly not a doctor. But I don't remember a time in our country when people were forced to stay in their homes. I've been around a little bit, and I don't know about that in this country, but I know it's happened in a couple other countries. 1933 Germany, that's pretty much how it started. And like Germany, some of our American neighbors are calling the police, believe it or not, when they see someone leave their home in case that they don't think it is an essential trip. Well, I don't know what the hell an essential trip is, to be honest with you. I went out today. It was an essential trip. I went to a hardware store because I needed something to fix in my backyard. I can't just sit in my house and stare at the television all day long. There are things that have to be done. There are things I can do. And I'm sure, like the rest of you, if I need a new hammer, I've got to go to a place where they sell hammers. And if I bring that hammer home and I fix my back porch from falling down, then in my mind, that was definitely essential, all right? So your definition of essential, the government's definition of essential, and my definition of essential may be a little, maybe 6 foot apart, okay? Which is another thing I really don't understand, but you know, you can you can go to a store and walk up and down the aisles. A lot of people browse. You're not supposed to, but you can do that. But say there's 50, 60, 100 people in that store. That's okay. But if you have 5 friends over for dinner on a Saturday night, friends that you know well, your neighbor's probably going to call and say, hey, the guy next door is having a party. I mean, this is the season for barbecues and things of that nature. So anyway, that's the point that I want to make, is that don't believe everything we hear. About the only person I believe in Washington, D.C. would be our president and most of his cabinet and some of the doctors that he's working with. I think he's doing a fine job. I can see the worry and the tiredness on that man's face. But he's doing this for this country. He gave up everything he had. And he gave up a hell of a lot more than you and I give up, financially anyway, to take care of this country. And he is doing a great job. And I don't really care what CNN or MSNBC or those kind of people talk about, because all they do is hate Trump. It's just like Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi has turned into some kind of Irish banshee. She's absolutely pathetic, really, if you watch her and you listen to her. She's pathetic, just like Schumer and Schiff and some of those people, not to mention our wonderful Mitt Romney from the wonderful state of Utah. Utah is a great place. I don't know how they ever reared anyone like Mitt Romney. But anyway, I just wanted to say, don't believe everything you see. Let your heart and your mind lead you. I don't think Donald Trump is going to lie to us. And I don't think the Secretary of State's going to lie to us. I don't think people like that are going to lie. I do know the other side does, because we've already caught them doing it. So just a word of caution, don't believe everything that the left says. Matter of fact, you can almost not believe anything that the left says. And now that Bernie's gone, what do you think Sleepy Joe's going to do? I can't imagine that they're going to let him go clear through the Democratic convention to run as a candidate. I hope nothing happens to Joe. I don't want anything bad to happen to him. But I cannot see those people who live under rocks and in closed doors and behind gated estates. I can't believe that those people are going to allow Joe Biden to get on a stage with Donald Trump and be totally humiliated, which is just exactly what's going to happen. I feel bad for Joe, actually. I really do. The man doesn't have it anymore. It happens to all of us at one time or another. And besides that, I really just don't like the man personally. But that's just an opinion, and you know what they say about opinions. But I have a feeling that someone's going to be pardon the expression, it's certainly not racial. Someone's going to be a dark horse. They got to find somebody that can even at least stand up on the stage long enough to have a debate. So you might want to look into that in the next few months, because I really think that they're going to have to come up with something other than Joe Biden. And if anybody asked me a question about Joe Biden, I would say this has got to be his wife's fault, because Jill really wants that spot in the White House, I guess, because if it was my husband or my wife, I wouldn't let them be humiliated like that, for obvious reasons, okay? So anyway, now that we've got this big pandemic going, and like I said, it is a serious thing, but we've got the Democrats with Pelosi and Schumer and those kind of people talking about an impeachment. Now, I don't know if you can imagine that or not, but there are people dying from this illness, from this virus. But Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and Charlie Shiftless, or whatever his name is, you know, Chuck, little Chucky. Anyway, these people are concerned about everything except the American people. And now they want to have another stimulus bill, and they want to include all illegal aliens. Well, I'm sorry, folks. The term illegal alien came up because these people are in this country illegally. And that's just the way it is. They aren't immigrant workers. They're anything. No, they're illegal aliens who come to this country illegally. And the Democrats are figuring that's the only way they're going to get any votes, especially now the way Trump's been going. He's had this country right back on the top of the pack. And the Democrats have used this virus and these problems and all of this confusion to further their little socialist communist agenda. So keep that in mind, because that really is what's happening. But what I really want to say, more than anything, I think, is that I'm still really, really proud to be an American. Granted, there are a lot of dummies out there There are a lot of people who wear the plastic gloves and the masks, and then when they come out of the store, they throw them on the ground. Well, that helped a lot, right? But we've got those in every country, not just America. So I want you to think about how great this country and its people really are. We've got doctors and nurses that are working themselves to the bone. They're putting themselves in harm's way every minute they stand in that hospital, every minute that they take care of somebody. The doctors, the nurses, the EMT people, the policemen who put themselves in harm's way on an hourly basis. Grocery clerks and truck drivers and pharmacists and people who go to their jobs knowing that they're going to be exposed, or pretty certain that they're going to be exposed once or twice a day at least. But these people still get up and they take their showers and they put their uniforms on and they go to work. And they help the American people, and they're keeping us safe, and they're keeping it as well as they possibly can. Don't forget the farmers. These people are hurting pretty bad. They're still making all our food. They're still working 20 hours a day to bring the crops in. The truckers are working 20 hours a day to get the food and the things that we need to the stores and the drugstores and places like that. So don't forget those people. When you lay your head down at night, thank the good Lord for that, because these people are what this country is all about, and I guarantee you that. And we will come through this. The Americans don't lay down. It's just like someone once said, I don't remember even where I saw it, but they said when someone tries to invade our country or makes our country near impossible to live in, we don't run to another country. No, we pick up our guns, our arms, our bats, rocks, whatever we have, and we stay here and we fight for this land, and we fight for this flag, and we fight for our values and our morals. And we'll do it again. We're doing it right now. There are people all over who are doing wonderful, wonderful acts of kindness. There are corporate giants who are doing everything they can to help fill the orders for masks and gloves and gowns and things like that. There are people who have stopped their production lines. Mike Lindell, for one, from Minnesota. He stopped his entire production line, at least most of it, to do masks, to make masks for people. That's the America that you and I love, and the America that you and I want to live in for the rest of our lives. It's a wonderful place. We've got four corners of beautiful, beautiful scenery, and a heck of a lot of really, really good people. So we good people, we people who really do love this country, need to stay together and stand together and band together, and keep this republic the way it is, the way it was. We'll rebuild this. And one of the things that I want to say is that a lot of politicians and a lot of people, some whom I even like, are saying that we're going to have a new normal. I disagree with that. I don't think there's such a thing as new normal. That was Obama's line. Well, this is a new normal. No, I'm not buying that anymore. We're going to get back to where we were. Donald Trump got this country, like I said, back on the top of the heap. And this virus came along. I don't know why or how. I think it might have something to do with the fact that right before this virus, there were millions of Chinese people rioting and arguing and protesting in the streets all over China. And the Chinese government didn't know what to do because it was so public. They couldn't just go out and shoot them and mow them down. So they might have come up with a different idea. I don't know that for sure. That's just an idea that I had from talking to some people that are in the know. This very well could have happened. And of course our economy was so great and so wonderful. If they got this country sick and got the unemployment back up to where Obama had it, maybe they'd have a little more pull with America. But I don't know if that's how it happened. In my mind, I think that's probably what happened. But don't let people tell you that this is the new normal. No, we're going to go back to the new normal. We're going to put this country back on its feet. People are going to go back to work. Restaurants are going to open. You're going to be able to sit next to your friend and drink a cup of coffee. You're going to be able to shake hands again. One man said, well, we'll never be able to shake hands again. That's bull crunchies, folks. This country, we shake hands. We look a man in the eye. I was taught that from the time I was probably 5 years old. And most parents, I think, good parents, teach their kids the same thing. Look someone in the eye when you shake their hand. Remember their name. But that's what I think. That's what I think America's about. We have a great, great, great country here. Don't let these people usurp our liberties and our morals and our values. This place is like no other place has ever been in the history of this planet. We need to make sure that we keep our democratic republic, and we need to guard against people like Nancy Pelosi and Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton and people of that ilk. We need to stand fast and hold our flags high and look each other in the eye and say, you're not taking this damn country. In no way you're going to take this country, and we're not going to buy your socialist crap. I don't care how rich Bill Gates is. His Common Core was one of the biggest problems we ever had in this country. He dumbed our country down from number 1 to number 17 by talking people into instituting the Common Core program in schools. I've never met a teacher that even liked it. I mean, I don't know how you add 5 and 6 and it takes you 25 minutes to get to 11. With me, it was 5 plus 6 is 11. It was a memory game, probably, but we knew how to do it. So I think this country's going to survive this. I know we are, because we're very strong. And I want to read you just a little information that someone sent to me on Facebook, and I really, really enjoyed it. I don't repeat a lot of stuff from Facebook, but this came from my daughter. I don't know where she got it, but it's absolutely the truth, because I've heard about this before. I'm going to read it to you very quickly, and then I'm going to let you get to your dinner. During the Great Depression, a lot of farmers in the United States weren't able to pay their mortgages and had their homes and land foreclosed. Later, when the bankers would try to sell off the farm at public auctions, the previous owner and the rest of the community would show up, sometimes with guns. The original owner would bid a ridiculously low amount of money, and everyone with the stones big enough to bid any higher would get probably the crap kicked in. So no one else bid except the farmer who had the land taken away. The original owner would then walk away with their farm back, only a couple of dollars for their troubles. They called these penny auctions. That's where the term penny auctions came from. I call it bringing the community together, and I think that's what we all do. But that's a good story to give you an idea of how Americans stand together. The Great Depression could have ruined this country, could have taken it down. But you know what saved it? The people of this country, the people who have the traditions and the honesty and the willingness to sacrifice once in a while for the greater good, for their neighbor, for the guy next door, for the guy down the block. You know, for the little old man who helps the little old lady carry her groceries across the street. It's that simple, folks. It really is that simple. In this time of mixed emotions and a lot of hatred in this country, and we do have a lot of hatred, we need to quell that problem. But the people who hate this country hate it because they don't have the power. And believe you me, in the name of God, we don't want them to have the power. Can you imagine Hillary Clinton or Joe Biden handling the present problem right now? My God, we'd all be speaking Mandarin. Anyway, thank you for your time. Please spread this around a little bit and tell people about it. I like to grow my audience. I think I have some interesting things to say. If you don't think so, please let me know, and I'll take you off the list. I won't send it to you if you don't want it. If you do want it, please let me know. You know, send me an email, make a comment, follow me, whatever you want to do. But in the meantime, I just want to say God bless all of you, and keep praying. We'll get through this. We're the type of people, the type of country that just never throws in the towel. We just don't throw the towel in. So please pray for our president. Pray for your neighbors. Pray for our president's family and all the people who take care of us, the police, the firemen, the nurses and the doctors and the truck drivers and the grocery clerks, the people who clean the rooms in the hospitals, the people who sweep the streets and pick up your trash. All those people are Americans, and they're all working together for one thing, and that is to keep this country great. So God bless you. Thanks for listening. And this is Ernie One signing off for Podbean. Thank you.